Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 400k per year profit solo consulting business right in front of your eyes. And the video watching right now is a part of a daily video series that follows the exact same framework. I start by answering your questions, which means that you can ask your question in relation to your business or personal life or whatever it could be that you would need my take on down in the comment section. And then I'll answer your question in tomorrow's daily update video. Then I run you through business stats, which is basically just this sheet that I fill out every single day with tracking every number inside of my business. Then I talk to you a little bit about my to-do list, what I did today and what I'll do tomorrow in order to run this operation. And then I do some live strategy, which is basically just me brainstorming on the simple fact on how I'm planning to get to $1 million a year in personal profit while only taking calls 3 days a week and keeping my profit margins pretty high. So we dive into the first of all the questions, which is currently here on my Daily Updates YouTube channel, the channel you're watching right now. And then I simply just find a comment that I haven't interacted with, so this one for example, and then I answer it. So we have a question here from Talmed. I'm butchering your name in every video, bro. Yo, Fred. T here again. I think you have a phenomenal strategy here, probably going to take some time, but I see you're here for the long run. I agree. Gonna pick your brain while you're still uploading these videos. When it comes to developing your product to such a level where you are able to only take calls 3 days a week and still get clients great results, do you think your clients will keep renewing even if they don't get one-on-ones? My guess would be that the constant development of the product would keep them in there. Good question, bro. I think as you progress in business over time, it's that you realize that, for example, me, I have a mentor as well, right? And I started having bi-weekly calls with him, but then we agreed that it would actually be way more beneficial for the both of us if we just did monthly. Because when you are making larger changes in a business that is doing larger numbers, it typically takes more time, right? It takes a lot of time for me to test running my business, running it without sales calls. I can't do that in a week, right? It's a lot. For example, when you work with more beginners, they typically need way more support, right? Let's say that you, for example, bro, when you started out with your business, you needed a lot more hand holding than you do now, right? Back then it was like, hey Fred, what should I answer this client? Or what should I price my services at? Or do you think this is a good idea? Or do you have a contract template? So it's like there's a lot of hand holding, and there's nothing wrong with that. Every beginner needs a lot of hand holding to get through, because it's always in the beginning phases that you have the most amount of questions, right? Whereas now, it's not so much about the time spent with your mentor. It's not so much about the constant back and forth and like the many hours of calls. It's more about, here's the right vehicle, pay attention to these things, use these frameworks, and then go ahead and use it. All right. So I think the main differentiator in my offer, the first thing will basically be one call a month versus 2 calls a month. The reason to why I'm also doing it, bro, is that I've realized that for people, the one-on-one Slack channel, so every single client that I work with, they get a private Slack channel with me that I answer multiple times throughout the day. And I actually believe this one-on-one Slack channel to be a lot more valuable than the calls. Because typically you don't really need a call. Calls are always for zooming out and seeing things in helicopter perspective. Because as I said, when a business is doing 10 to all the way to up to 100k, you don't want to micromanage, monetize it. You want to have trackers where you track every single number, but you don't want to change things all the time, because a lot of the moves you make are, you make fewer but better decisions. I hope it makes sense. So the daily Slack channel is actually a lot better, because I can answer my clients and the people that I work with all of their daily headaches or things that they're confused about, or if they want feedback. I do all of that through Looms or voice notes or text messages. And I realized that's a lot more valuable than the calls. Of course, it's 2 different roles, but I would argue that I can deliver people the same results with 1 call a month versus 2 calls a month with the same Slack channel access and a better program over here. So that's the thought process here. And also, bro, the reason to why people renew is that people will always renew when the value they are getting for the amount of money that they are paying is always greater. Yeah, I'll rephrase it. I was writing, so I couldn't multitask there. If people is always getting more than what they're paying for, then they will never stop paying, right? right now I've priced my mentorship at $9,500, which is incredibly cheap if you ask me, but it's also priced in a way where logically for 4 months, right? If you divide it out to monthly payments, it is 2,375. For 80% of my clients, it's a no-brainer to work with me because my advice and my tweaks and my ideas and my implementations into their business will always create them more money short term, right? And then you're not even thinking of long term. So think, bro, it's not so much about, of course, I know that my personal access and the relationship with me is a big factor in renewal, but I genuinely believe that I can keep that in one call a month, group access, and one-on-one Slack channel. So I think the main thing is just that people get results short-term and long-term with their business, and they feel like they're moving the needle, and they feel like that I can help them. Then they will typically continue paying because they're getting more than what they're paying for, which is always the reason to why people renew and upgrade or upsell or whatever it is, because it's not charity. There must be some kind of logic playing its part here, you know. And yes, if people can also see that there are features coming, it can be a physical mastermind, it can be social events, it can be modules added, it can be guest speaking events, it can be topic masterclasses, things that like to look forward to. Then they of course also wanna be around. So yeah, that's it for your first question, bro. Also heard about you targeting and wanted to give you my 2 cents. I think that the way you structure the model digital coffee shop makes you target 3 types of people: the do-it-yourself people who want to start info and consulting, the done with you people who started dabbling in the info and consulting, and the done for you people who want the whole operation outsourced. The main issue here is that the done with you targeting, cause you can help someone to scale to 20-30k a month, but also to 100 to 150k a month, isn't going broader the only choice. Just targeting people who want to start or scale their info. Would love to hear your thought process and how you see targeting. I think it's one of the places most info owners mess up. Correct, bro. What I'm trying to do, right, is that I want to have a core product. So the way that you outline it here, bro, it sounds like right here, right? The people who want to start an info business needs a different type of program than people who are running an existing info business, because it's very different from starting one or scaling one, in my opinion. These people are established, right? And like these are the ones that like need the operation outsourced. So I think what I'm trying to do is that to make sure that I always have one core product, and then the differentiator is not really the outcome. The differentiator is the amount of access to me, right? Where the done for you is like premium because my agency does the work. We're almost full capacity. And then done with you is together with me, so we do things together. And then do DIY is like do it yourself. And my goal is that my product is like everything that I know, from basically start taking my info business from scratch all the way to my max, which was at like 217k a month, right? So this means that people doing 40k can still consume the product, people doing 100k can still consume the product, and people starting out can also still consume the product. Because again, it's here, my goal is that it now it gets a little bit fluffy and it's a little bit hard to explain, but my goal is that my program and my product becomes more about the philosophy rather than a certain outcome. So I don't want to attract people where it's like we only want to work with Fred because we want to make 30k a month. That's not how it should be. Of course, I should deliver such a good product that you can get to 30k a month, or your next 30k or 40k milestones, like 40, 80. I have clients doing all the way up to like 120, 150k a month, right? So the goal here is more about the philosophy, right? The philosophy of how you run your business. So in terms of focusing on profit margins rather than revenue and vanity metrics, right? Focusing more on content and ecosystem and personal brand and your personal values, authenticity, rather than a sales funnel and a guarantee, like book a call, VSL, guarantee, money back, big sales team, focus on volume. I would rather that people focused on, like the people that I work with, I teach them how to make content and structure the offers the way that I've structured my business, so that they get people that actually want to work with them instead of just their offer, right? So like those two things. And and then making sure that I also serve people who are really good at what they do, and then help them make money within info, because then I have the coolest job in the world. So I think the point here is that I want people to come to me for more the philosophy of the way that I see business and info and consulting, and my achievements and the things that I've done, rather than, oh, this guy promises us X amount of money a month. Because ultimately these people over here that come with pure intentions will always outperform these ones out here, because their why is a lot stronger and they're in business for the right reasons, and you can smell that in consulting for sure. So yeah, I think I'll run my marketing only towards established people doing 10 to 20k a month. And then maybe if it's, because here, for example, I can have an agency owner, for example, doing 20k a month who wants to start a consulting offer. Technically, with the consulting offer, they are from scratch, right? But they still fit my criteria of having cash flow expertise, sales skills, these things. So then I'm fine with bringing them on board. But let's say that it's a complete beginner, then I'm not gonna work with them, because they also need to fit into the community, which is extremely, extremely important for me, is that all of them like connect well with each other and they fit into the community, because it only takes one bad fit and then it's an annoying community to be in. So I'm very picky with the people that I'll get in. So my targeting is definitely towards people having a base and a foundation, right? So like 20 to 30k a month, maybe 10 even, but it depends a lot on the person. And then again, the ultimate goal is basically like make more money and more profit and scale without having to spend all days on calls, without having to force guarantees down people's throat, and by attracting clients that are actually going to work with you for who you are instead of the things you promise. So the whole point of the offer is that I'll dial it in a little bit more over time to make it more specific, but I am challenging myself in a way of I want to make it a little bit fluffy. Like that's the whole point. The whole point is to attract people that isn't so in love and like married to a very tangible outcome, because all of the people that I work with now, they bought into the fluffiness of like the things that I've done and the things that they wanted with their business, and they could see like themselves running a digital coffee shop in terms of profit over revenue. That's nice. One core product, multiple ways of delivering. That's awesome. And like content ecosystems over funnels. That's exactly what I want, you know. But I definitely need to be a little bit more clear. But I think that also comes from making your product and fully outlining it, and that's the process that I'm in now. It's kind of like when you wrote a school assignment, right? You always wrote the whole assignment and then you wrote the intro, because then you knew what the assignment was about. And that's kind of how I'm gonna do my messaging, because I know exactly who I'm talking to, but I want to build the product first and then reverse engineer a little bit. Which I think is the right choice in my shoes here. If it was a new program that I was building, then probably not. But in my case, it makes sense because I've spent 800 hours on one-on-one calls in the last 10 months here. Nice. Really appreciate a question, bro, by the way. Very, very good questions. I can smell your intelligence all the way here in Dubai. Next thing is business stats. So it's basically just me filling out this sheet here with the growth of my social channels, and also how much revenue, cash, and cost that I have by running this business. So 372 on my daily updates. My main channel is currently sitting at 6436. We literally lost this up. I really need to get going with my. I'm also almost done with the next main channel video, which is gonna be very nice. But again, main focus on product. So content a little bit second. A little bit stupid if you focus on acquisition and these things, but in my place it's on purpose, so to say. Yesterday I spent $7 on Excalibur, which is this right here. Very nice. For my to-do list today, I I spent the whole day writing the ads masterclass, which will also be turned into a big section inside of my program, and then I'll turn it into a YouTube video. So I think I wrote 2,500 words there, which is a lot. I want to make sure that I build like the best thing that it's ever seen. everyone says that, right? When they're building a program, it's like, it will revolutionize. But I'm just trying to operate with the intention from I want to make this really, really good. And that's what I'm doing. And also because I know that it will turn into multiple different content pieces, right? So it's also a high leverage task for me. Some people would look at it and be like, that's not scalable, Fred, that you're spending so much time on writing these things. But first of all, I really enjoy it. Second of all, I'm the only guy that knows the things that I know based on the things that I've experienced and done. I can't really, I will never outsource copywriting and script writing and program writing. Like, the whole point is that it's my brain inside of the program, right? And it's leveraged because it turns into my content. So it feeds into stories, YouTube, Reels, program, masterclass for clients, SOPs for my agency. It feeds into everything, which is the whole point of the digital coffee shop, right? Serve clients, build product, and then leverage onto social channels so that you're not doing double the work. It's the same shit leveraged, right? Then I had lunch with friends, actually one of my clients, and then my partner in the agency, Anton, and then his girlfriend and my girlfriend. So very nice. And then I came back, did some more writing, answered all clients. Also did that in the morning, but yeah, I do that multiple times per day, so I don't have to. It's good. Then I hit the gym, leg day, horrible day, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man. And now I'm just sitting here and clocking off. I'm just gonna do one more round of Slack. It's currently 9 p.m. and then I'll bring these bad boys out, and then I'll hit the sheets. So appreciate you watching this video. We will definitely see each other tomorrow.